Hi guys, Ken Smith Fishing. Thanks for tuning in. By the way, take care of your skin. I have not been fishing because they're fixing to cut a hunk out of my lip. So I did get the chance to go fishing the other day. I'm going to post that results right here. But this video is more about a couple other things. We'll talk a lot about props. And it's going to be in the lighter part of the video. Matter of fact, if you want to, well, let me tell you what we're also going to do. We're going to do a little bit of fishing. And we're going to talk about fixing the heading sensor on a Garmin graph, and we're going to talk about changing the stow position. If you don't want to hear any of those things, you can jump to that point right there in the video, and we'll have a big prop discussion based upon a very consistent set of emails and phone calls I get with guys. And guys, I've got an entire playlist on props selection. Matter of fact, I'll put a link to it in above if you're on a device that allows you to see that. If not, I'll put a link in the description below so you can check that out. But before we get to that, we had a really interesting conversation with Spencer Sheffield. Most of you guys saw that video right as we were both at Jones Marine getting the new forward-facing sonar transducer mounts that they've come out with for forward and perspective, which are very cool if you haven't seen those. And congratulations to Spencer. He was on the St. Lawrence River last week with his new gear, had an 8th-place finish up there. I mean, the dude is a hammer at forward-facing sonar, and I'm sure had a ball up there. He was really looking forward to that trip. So, but before we get there, before we get to the prop stuff, let's have some other conversations. So I had that stuff done, and then Taylor and I went over to Bringle, I believe is the name of the little Texarkana lake, thinking we could catch some live scope fish. And what I will tell you is Michael Yoder has spoiled those fish. They have gone over there so much in the afternoon. What those guys do is they work on a boat, and then they carry it over there to the lake to make sure everything works on it, and they fish. And there's a couple of particularly good spots on that lake where there's a lot of sort of suspended and off the bottom offshore structure fish, and they have caught those fish, and those are the smartest damn fish I've ever seen when it comes to live scope. So you're seeing my day here. I spent some time with Taylor. Matter of fact, we caught one right here. What you got? Good. So big. Not bad. Really got a good look at him. He's come off the wall, and that's all I've seen. Strong. Chunked it too.
Right at the top of the lip, right where they're supposed to be.
I don't think that camera worked at all, but the back one did.
I had to do the weirdest thing to make that fish bite.
What did you do?
I lost my bait, so I didn't, reeled it up real fast, and it killed it. And I seen him run up there and eat it.
Gimme.
Yep. Pissed him off.
That is the, sorry about the wind noise. That's the little group of fish he caught that fish out of right there. And what we were talking about after this morning with Spencer was, a lot of those guys are running. Sorry guys, had a blast of wind noise here, but you see the crosstalk going on between those units. They're both running LVS 34s. The guys that are running the LVS 62, you saw it runs below 550 kilohertz, while the LVS 34 runs between 5 and 1100 kilohertz. So you're getting a better picture deeper with the lower frequency on the LVS 62, and you don't get the crosstalk we're getting here. So it runs on about half the frequency level that the forward live scope is. So all the interference, you see that blinking that you get when you're running dual live scopes, which you can get, you can turn it down where you don't get it, but you lose some of the information you're capturing. Oh, man. Thought that was going to get it. You see his bait right there, he was bouncing around. But So when they're running that different frequency, that lower frequency on perspective, they're not getting the interference you get when you're not. You see his bait falling right there. Catch a 9-pounder. It looked really cool right there. But anyway, that's kind of why you're seeing those guys run. You know, actually a lot of the guys are running just perspective on that saltwater and not really using the forward imaging as much as they used to. But the ones that are running it perspective and forward, they're not getting the interference that we do when we're running basically both LBS. Sorry guys, camera overheated there, but what I was saying is when you're running those LBS 34s. Back to that was the highlight of the day. So Taylor spent some time with me, then he had to go back to the shop and go back to work. I picked up a draw because the water was clear and I had a little overcast, and I threw a draw over the place thinking I might catch one up, you know, 6-8 feet deep that would eat that thing. And that, I think he had that one bite and I had a barfish, and that was the highlight of our day. But I should have told you all this earlier. The two things that we did talk about that he helped me with. Number one, and he had shown me how to do this before, and it's really simple, but I had forgotten. So my boat had gotten caddywampus, that is a technical term, on my graph. So if I was fishing or running, if I was going this direction, my boat was angled to the side, and so the little line that pointed off the end of the boat was not the direction I was going, and it just made me crazy. It actually bugged me more fishing than it did running. So Taylor's going to show us how to fix that. That's a really simple fix. And then for the life of me, I can't think of the other thing, and Sarah's in the other room with the computer, so I'll put it at the bottom of what the other thing he's going to cover with me as well is. And then after that, at this point right here in the video, if you'll jump to that time spot, we're going to go back and we're going to talk about propellers. So I'm going to record that now. You guys can jump ahead and watch it, or you can enjoy those two things that Taylor showed us on my boat that we needed to fix.
So we swapped the Stow side on Ken's prop, and we redid these mounts to give him a little more clearance with the 18s and all that. So I'm going to remind y'all on how to do the prop Stow side through your graph if you don't have your remote on you or you don't have batteries in it like I usually do. So we're going to go right here. We've got it connected up. We're going to go to toolbars, and we're just going to add this trolling motor toolbar to the top for now. So now we got her up here. Right here to the menu. We're going to go right here to prop Stow side, and we're going to change it to right now since we got the prop set for the right side with the way the live scope mounts are mounted up. Hit back, and then now we're stowing to the right side. So real quick little deal there, if you ever change up your setup on how you got your transducers mounted, and if you want to take that toolbar back off, just come right back here to toolbars and just hit remove. And now she's going back to full screen live scope. All right, so we're gonna reset our heading sensor here. So we're gonna come to options.
Explain what's been going on with me.
Yeah, so Ken's been having a little issue with his, either when he's running down the lake, his boat being a little crooked. And so sometimes that'll happen with these heading pucks when they just get a little bit out of alignment. So what we have to do to fix that is we're gonna come to options, go to settings, we're gonna go to communications, go to our NEMA 2000 setup, device list, and then so right here we have our 24XD. We're gonna hit review and see we got our compass calibration, everything done there. You know, we got Q90 on that, so we're good there. What we're gonna do is do this auto heading alignment, and it's gonna tell you to bring the boat to a cruising speed, constant heading, at least 45 seconds of hazard-free water ahead. Usually it doesn't take but about 15 seconds. You can either do it on a fast idle, or, you know, if you're just up on pad, you know, cruising around. So I got a tree up here in front of me I got picked out to go straight toward. We're going to hit begin, and we're going to gain a little bit of speed up here. And see, now we got success on that. So once we back out here, you see now we're going toward the bank over here right off of that little point, whereas before it had us pointing straight up over that way, which was over to that point right here. So now we've got that fixed, and as we move around, the boat's going to follow us. And so that just corrects that heading issue that it has every once in a while. And it can be from interference, or it can be from, say, you know, just set time. Sometimes they just, like mine on my boat will do that also, where it'll just get off just a hair. So when you're running down the lake, your boat's just a little bit crooked. So that'll fix that every time for you, even if you've got a good compass calibration quality It doesn't mean you can't go in there and do that. I do it, you know, on every boat that I set up generally anyway.
Hey guys, I'm not going to say what caused this, but I had a little glitch in my video. So I apologize. The prop video I've shot got cut off in half. I have my camera set on loop. I didn't realize it, so I've lost half of it. And rather than try to piece it back together and make a poor video, I'm going to go ahead and post this video tomorrow morning, which will be Wednesday, which is when y'all are watching this. And I'm going to re-record the prop video tonight, and I'll post it Thursday. So thanks for tuning in. I'm so sorry. I had hoped to get all this in one video, but we're going to make a good video about props because I got a lot of things I want to talk about. So if you guys will tune back in tomorrow, Thursday morning, I'll give you the video part of this. I'll give you the prop part of this video that I had promised earlier in the video. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate all the likes. I appreciate all the subscribes. If you don't subscribe, please do. It makes a difference. Thanks, guys.